Do not make this mistake when you are traveling to Japan, and that is to buy a SIM card before you leave the airport. Hey, I'm Zach. I make travel and food videos. Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, I encourage you to subscribe and hit the like button and share this video to your friends and families. If you're just returning, today I'm going to be talking about 10 things that travelers should know when they are traveling to Japan. And the first is to buy a SIM card before they leave the airport. Now, this is it's a hassle when you leave the airport and you're looking for a SIM card, and you may struggle deeply finding a SIM card. So I encourage you when you arrive in Haneda, Narita, or Osaka or Kobe, wherever, to uh, find a SIM card desk and purchase a SIM card, whether it's a regular SIM or an eSIM. I actually recommend the eSIM for if it's for 7 days or 14 days. You want to secure that when you arrive at the airport. And it's important because when you have Google Maps uh, on your phone, and that's what we're going to talk about later on, you're able to navigate much easier in the country. Okay, number two is book a hotel near the train station. I cannot tell you how many times I have booked a hotel away from the train station. And we're talking about 30 to 35 minutes away from the train station. And because of my late arrival at the train station, the taxi wasn't around. I had a US number, so I had trouble even calling taxis in that particular area. So ended up just walking to my hotel carrying a suitcase. And it's at night. It was just not a pretty sight. And it was very, very challenging and stressful. And so I could have alleviated that by booking a hotel near the train station. And that's very important because let's say you took a bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka, and you want to get back on that train and go back to Tokyo, and you book a hotel near the train station, you're right there at the train station. And you don't have to worry about getting a taxi or suitcase. You don't have to worry about any of that because it's in the hotel next to the train station. And so throughout my 9 years of traveling in Japan, I have learned to book hotels near the train station. And it has solved a lot of problems on my travels in Japan. And you'll be next to usually a lot of restaurants. It's just very, very convenient. And usually there's a ton of hotels next to the train stations. So typically it's not where there's like one or two, unless you're up in the northern part of Japan, which is where I've been, and I have had that case happen. So I have had very few options in certain areas that I have traveled in northern Japan. But if you're in Tokyo or Kyoto or Osaka, those major hubs, you will not have any problem finding hotels near the train station. Okay, so the third thing that travelers should know before coming to Japan is withdraw cash at the airport. Now, yen is the currency at the airport. Now, arguably speaking, the rates can be a lot higher at airports, but what I'm saying is don't get a lot, just get enough so that you can either take a taxi or use it to buy a drink at a convenience store or food or whatever. You just want to get a little. So that you won't have any issue when you arrive in the city or actually transporting to the city. Now, I encourage you, if you arrive in Narita or Neda, just take the train to your hotel, wherever that is. But just an encouragement, get some in before you leave the airport. Okay, so number four, download Google Maps. Now, I already mentioned it earlier, but this is very important because Google Maps is very, very effective when it comes to traveling. So 10 years ago, 9 years ago, even like 6 years ago, Google Maps did not tell you the platform that the train was about to arrive on. And I saw that when I was traveling. I was so confused about the platform that these trains were going to arrive on in Tokyo. And it was very, very frustrating because the train was on track 2, but I was supposed to be on track 4. And it was just really, really irritating. Now they tell you the platform, they tell you the time of arrival. It's in real time. It's very, very effective and efficient. And so I encourage you to download Google Maps and any other travel apps that you find helpful. Now, in my book, A Journey Through Japan, I have talked about 22 apps that I have used over the years, and I have found these to be very, very effective. And this right here, this is a book of wealth. This is a book of experiences. And I'll tell you, if I wished I would have had this book before I even stepped foot in Japan. This is just full of my experiences and just tips and tricks that I have acquired along the way. Okay, the fifth thing that travelers should know is to get an IC card at the airport. So this is a chargeable card. Basically, you can put money on this card. You can tap the station gates when you're going in and out of the train station. You can use it for buses. You can use it for convenience stores. You can use it for vending machines. There are just a lot of perks to having an IC card. So if you're looking for a Suica or a PASMO, these are like different versions or different kinds of cards. Then for the Suica, you want to go to the JR East Service Center. And for the PASMO, there's usually a PASMO counter. Now, in the airport, if you're unable to find any of these cards, there are usually information desks that you can go to and you can inquire. And more likely than not, these Japanese, they speak English. And they have spoke English to me, even though I've been speaking Japanese the entire time. So, encourage you to get a Suica card or a PASMO before you leave the airport. Now, if you are in a situation in which you're unable to get a Suica card before you leave the airport, don't fret. Get one at the nearest train station. Usually the major hub train stations, Shinjuku, for example, there's a JR East Center that you can buy the card. Now, let me tell you just the reason why you should do this. Number one, you don't have to buy individual tickets. Number two, you don't have to wait in line. And so it's going to save a lot of hassle and a lot of stress when you are traveling. You just load your card, tap it, whatever you're doing, right? Whether you're using it to get through one of the gates or buying a drink out of a vending machine, and you just go on your merry way. And so it's just very effective when you are traveling around the entire country of Japan. Okay, so the sixth thing that travelers should know is to pack light. Now, there is a tendency for travelers to pack heavy, right? If it's wintertime, you want to pack extra jackets, extra boots. And it's sort of understandable because you really have no idea what you're about to walk into, especially if you're going to Sapporo Ice Festival, which I just went earlier this year, and it was negative 30 in the area that I was in. So it was very, very cold. And I did pack more jackets because I wanted to stay warm. Now, that is understandable. And even for the summer, maybe you want to pack your snorkeling gear. There's just a tendency to pack a heavy suitcase. But if you can, encourage you to pack light because it can save you a lot of stress and hassle when you're traveling around Japan. Now, keep in mind the hotels in Japan can be very small, some of which don't even have elevators. And I have been at those hotels that didn't have elevators. And so what does that mean? I have to lift up my heavy suitcase and I have to go up the stairs. And let's say it's 5 floors. I got to go up 5 floors. What if it's 13? I got to go up 13. Not fun. And I've done that. Ideally, you want to book a hotel that has an elevator. It will save you a lot of time. but and hassle. But if you can pack light, uh, I will introduce you to a service that I've used over the years, and it's called Black Cat. Now, this is something I've observed in Japan that I've never seen anywhere else. And I've traveled a lot to these Asian countries. Black Cat allows you to be able to travel with ease. So essentially, what they do is you go to the nearest Black Cat Center, you drop off your suitcase, you put the name of the hotel, and they transport that bag to your hotel. Now, I encourage you to give them about 2 days prior so that they'll have enough time to send it to the hotel wherever you're staying. But it's a very convenient thing, and I've used it many times while traveling in Japan. So when you arrive at your hotel, guess what? Your suitcase is already there. And it's Black Cat's an amazing service, and I highly recommend it. The seventh thing that travelers should be aware of when traveling Japan is to know basic phrases. Ohayo gozaimasu, which means good morning, konnichiwa, which means hello, and genki desu ka, which means how are you, goes a long way. In fact, I have used those basic phrases to Japanese, and they have smiled at me, and some of which have even thought that I was fluent just by using those basic phrases. Now, I have lived in Japan for over 9 years, so I've been able to pick up on the language and been able to speak it coherently. But encourage you to learn a basic phrases when you are coming to Japan. Now, technology is amazing in this day and age. ChatGPT can generate audio files that will help you learn the language if you're struggling with Japanese. And so I encourage you to take advantage of ChatGPT or language apps that you can find on your phone and be able to learn those basic phrases or sentences before you travel to Japan. Don't be afraid to, if you have a Japanese friend, to ask your Japanese friend to teach you some basic phrases before you leave. If you don't, just practice with your siblings or with your friends, because the audio files that you use, that typically those are from the native speakers. Now, you just have to be discerning when it comes to learning the languages through certain apps. But usually, the apps that you find, like these are native speakers who can teach you basic phrases or even intermediate and advanced. Okay, the eighth thing that travelers should know about is to carry a small trash bag. Now, it's very interesting in Japan because there are few trash cans. Now, it's due to an historical event that transpired that led to fewer trash cans. It's a security issue. So, when you go to Japan, not every street has a trash can. And I've experienced this. Now, typically, when you go to a convenience store, you'll find a trash bin that you can dispose your trash. But if you have a small bag that you can put your trash in, you can carry that with you until you find the nearest trash bin. Now, it can be a little frustrating, but it is good to have at least a small bag. So if you were to go to certain street vendors and you got some food or some drinks, you just put in that bag. If there's not a trash can right there, which sometimes there are, and then you can go on with your travels. The ninth thing that people should be aware of when traveling to Japan is to reserve attractions in advance. I cannot make this clear enough. People have made the mistake of coming to Japan and then trying to buy tickets immediately at the counter, and then they find that those tickets are sold out. Many of the attractions in Japan require reservations, and I have experienced that. And it can be a little frustrating, but I encourage you, if you're going to Universal Studios, buy your ticket before you leave Japan. you can buy it through the original Disney site, Universal site, or if you're going to Disney Sea or Disneyland, you can buy it through their original like Disney site, or you can use Klook, which is a travel company. But regardless of what you're doing, I encourage you to book your attractions ahead of time so that when you get there, you will not have to deal with tickets and you can just scan your QR code and you'll be able to get the physical tickets at the attraction. That's usually how that works. Okay, so the 10th thing that travelers should know is to keep their passport with them. Do not leave your passport in the hotel. According to Japanese law, you are required as a foreigner to keep your passport with you at all times. The other reason you should keep your passport with you is a lot of the stores that you go to, like Don Quixote, for example, which is a discount store, allows you tax-free shopping, which is really cool. Now, if you live in Japan, it's a little different story. If you're a resident, you don't get the perks that foreigners do, foreign travelers do. Which I live in Japan, so I don't get those tax benefits. But if you are traveling to Japan for the first time, or this is your 4th time or 5th time, and you buy something from like Don Quixote, you get tax-free shopping, and that's a huge perk. All right, well, I hope that you have acquired insight and knowledge from this video. This is based upon my experiences living in Japan, and I've lived in Japan for over 9 years. I've written 7 books in which I've literally poured in my experiences. But if you have any questions regarding your travels to Japan, send me a message in the comment section. And if you like this video, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Subscribing really helps our channel. It allows us to produce more content, especially when we know that people are actually watching our videos. Now I get it, there are videos that excellent videos that are made that are not watched as much, and it's happened to me, unfortunately. But I try my best to put out great travel content and help travelers to be able to explore new places and be able to experience new foods. And I'm writing a couple of other books to help travelers in Japan. All right. Well, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next journey.